How many carbs should you eat per day to lose weight? Low-carbohydrate diets can be very effective for weight loss, according to research. Reducing carbs tends to reduce your appetite and cause automatic weight loss, or weight loss without the need to count calories. For some people, a low-carb diet allows them to eat until fullness, feel satisfied, and still lose weight. The number of carbs a person should eat every day for weight loss varies depending on their age, sex, body type, and activity levels. This article reviews how many carbs you should eat per day to lose weight. Why would you want to eat fewer carbs? The dietary guidelines for Americans recommend that carbs provide 45 to 65% of your daily calorie intake for all age groups and sexes. According to the Food and Drug Administration (FDA), the daily value (DV) for carbs is 300 grams per day when eating a 2,000-calorie diet. Some people reduce their daily carb intake with the aim of losing weight, cutting down to around 50 to 150 grams per day. Research has shown that low-carb diets can be part of an effective weight loss strategy. This diet restricts your intake of carbohydrates, including sugars and starches like bread and pasta, and replaces them with protein, healthy fats, and vegetables. Studies show that low-carb diets can reduce a person's appetite, lead to them eating fewer calories, and help them to lose weight more easily than in other diets, provided they maintain the diet. In studies comparing low-carb and low-fat diets, researchers need to actively restrict calories in the low-fat groups to make the results comparable, but the low-carb groups are still usually more effective. Low-carb diets also have benefits that go beyond just weight loss. They can help to lower blood sugar, blood pressure, and triglycerides. They can also help to raise HDL, good cholesterol, and improve the pattern of LDL, bad cholesterol. Low-carb diets often cause more weight loss and improve health when compared to calorie-restricted, low-fat diets that many people still recommend. There's plenty of evidence to support this idea. What counts as a low-carb diet? There's no clear definition of exactly what constitutes a low-carb diet, and what's low for one person may not be low for the next. An individual's optimal carb intake depends on their age, gender, body composition, activity levels, personal preference, food culture, and current metabolic health. People who are physically active and have more muscle mass can tolerate a lot more carbs than people who are sedentary. This particularly applies to those who do a lot of high-intensity exercises, like lifting weights or sprinting. Metabolic health is also a very important factor. When people develop metabolic syndrome, obesity, or type 2 diabetes, their carb needs change. People who fall into these categories are less able to tolerate a lot of carbs. How to decide your daily carb intake? If you simply remove the unhealthiest carb sources from your diets, such as refined wheat and added sugars, you'll be well on your way to improved health. However, to unlock the potential metabolic benefits of low-carb diets, you also need to restrict other carb sources. There are no scientific papers that explain exactly how to match carbohydrate intake to individual needs. The following sections discuss what some dietitians believe about carb intake and weight loss. Eating 100 to 150 grams per day. This is moderate carb intake. It may work for people who are lean, active, and trying to stay healthy and maintain their weight. It's possible to lose weight at this and any carb intake, but you may also need to be aware of calorie intake and portion sizes to lose weight. Carbs you can eat include all vegetables, several pieces of fruit per day, moderate amounts of healthy starches, like potatoes, sweet potatoes, and healthier grains, like rice and oats. Eating 50 to 100 grams per day. This range may be beneficial if you want to lose weight while keeping some carb sources in the diet. It may also help to maintain your weight if you're sensitive to carbs. Carbs you can eat include plenty of vegetables, 2 to 3 pieces of fruit per day, minimal amounts of starchy carbs, eating 20 to 50 grams per day. This is where the low-carb diet has bigger effects on metabolism. This is a possible range for people who want to lose weight fast or have metabolic problems, obesity, or diabetes. When eating less than 50 grams per day, the body will go into ketosis, supplying energy for the brain via so-called ketone bodies. This is likely to dampen your appetite and cause you to lose weight automatically. Carbs you can eat include plenty of low-carb vegetables, some berries, maybe with whipped cream. Trace carbs from other foods, like avocados, nuts, and seeds. Be aware that a low-carb diet doesn't mean it's a no-carb diet. There's room for plenty of low-carb vegetables. It's important to experiment. Each individual is unique, and what works for one person may not work for the next. It's important to do some self-experimentation and figure out what works best for you. If you have type 2 diabetes, talk to your healthcare provider before making any changes, because this diet can drastically reduce your need for medication. Types of carbs and what to focus on. A low-carb diet isn't just about weight loss, it may also improve your health. For this reason, the diet should be based on whole, unprocessed foods and healthy carb sources. Low-carb junk foods are often unhealthy. If you want to improve your health, choose unprocessed foods such as lean meats, fish, eggs, vegetables, nuts, avocados, healthy fats. Choose carbohydrate sources that include fiber. If you prefer a moderate carb intake, try to choose unrefined starch sources, like potatoes, sweet potatoes, oats, and brown rice. Added sugars and other refined carbs are always unhealthy options. It's recommended that you limit or avoid them. For more details on specific foods to eat, check out this list of low-carb foods and this detailed low-carb meal plan and sample menu. Low-carb diets help you burn fat. Low-carb diets greatly reduce your blood levels of insulin, a hormone that brings the glucose from carbs into the body's cells. One of the functions of insulin is to store fat. Many experts believe that the reason low-carb diets work so well is that they reduce your levels of this hormone. Another thing that insulin does is to tell the kidneys to retain sodium. This is the reason high-carb diets can cause excess water retention. When you cut carbs, you reduce insulin and your kidneys start shedding excess water. It's common for people to lose a lot of water weight in the first few days on a low-carb diet. Some dietitians suggest you might lose up to 5 to 10 pounds, 2.3 to 4.5 kilograms, this way. Weight loss will slow down after the first week, but your fat mass may continue to decrease if you maintain the diet. One study compared low-carb and low-fat diets and used DEXA scanners, which are very accurate measures of body composition. The low-carb dieters lost significant amounts of body fat and gained muscle at the same time. Studies also show that low-carb diets are particularly effective at reducing the fat in your abdominal cavity, also known as visceral fat or belly fat. This is the most dangerous fat and is strongly associated with many diseases. If you're new to low-carb eating, you'll probably need to go through an adaptation phase where your body is getting used to burning fat instead of carbs. This is called the low-carb flu, and it's usually over within a few days. After this initial phase is over, many people report having more energy than before, with no afternoon dips in energy that are common on high-carb diets. The bottom line before starting the low-carb diet, try tracking how many carbs you eat on a typical day and whether they're healthy or unhealthy. A free app can help. Because fiber doesn't really count as carbohydrates, you can exclude the fiber grams from the total number. Instead, count net carbs. Using this calculation, net carbs equals total carbs, fiber. If you're not losing weight or weight loss slows down during the low-carb diet, check out these possible reasons why. One of the benefits of low-carb diets is that for many people, it's easy to do. You don't need to track anything if you don't want to. Just eat some protein, healthy fats, and veggies at every meal. Include some nuts, seeds, avocados, and full-fat dairy products. Also, choose unprocessed foods.